Okay, this is another fun puzzle involving two draining tanks. Draining Tanks the sequel. But this one is harder. So this is the puzzle. Consider two open-top tanks draining by gravity. Both tanks contain the same total volume of water, and they have the same initial depth. The only difference is that one tank is stirred, while the other tank is perfectly still. The question is, which tank will empty first? The stirred tank, the still tank, or do both tanks drain at the same rate? Again, if you want to give this problem a try and test your engineering intuition, I suggest pausing the video now. I'm going to show the answer in a few seconds. The idea to stir one tank was a viewer's suggestion. Most commenters thought that stirring would make the tank drain faster. So again, I'm going to show a head-to-head race using the same 3D printed tank. The tank has an inside diameter of about 13 centimeters, a 9mm drain hole, and notice that I've rounded the outlet hole so the minor losses will be low. The tank is filled with water to an initial height of 14 centimeters with a little bit of headroom to allow for stirring without spilling. To be clear, this is all I did. I stirred the tank gently with a pencil, admittedly not a highly controlled experiment, then I stopped and pulled the plug. So the gently stirred tank is on the left and the still tank is on the right. I've added blue dye to the water and bright lights so you can see the water levels. So place your bets now. And they're off. Notice the difference between the two outlet streams. The water flowing out of the still tank is a beautiful example of steady laminar flow, while the stirred tank has an unsteady, swirling, turbulent jet that lower down off the screen turns into a spray. By now you can see that the still tank is winning, and not by a little. It's draining much, much faster. The best way to judge when it goes empty is to watch and listen to the outlet stream. I'll turn up the volume a bit. And the still tank drains in 39 seconds. The stirred tank still has a long way to go. I stopped stirring almost a minute ago. As the gently spinning water flows toward the outlet hole, it spins faster and faster, conserving angular momentum, just as a figure skater spins faster as she pulls her mass closer to the axis of rotation. So we can see swirl in the outlet stream up to the final moments. Again, watch and listen. I'll turn up the sound. And the stirred tank takes 76 seconds to drain, almost twice as long as the still tank. Wow, that result totally surprised me. Again, I've used the timestamps on the videos to make a graph of the fluid level H as a function of time. The fluid level sets off at 14 centimeters and then goes to 0 as the tank drains. The dashed line is theory. It is the instantaneous fluid height h of t. We derived this equation in a previous video. I'll put a link in the description. The red dots are the measurements from the stirred tank, and the black diamonds are the measurements from the still tank. So why does the stirred tank drain so slowly? The fluid mechanics are complex, and this could be a video on its own, so I'll only give a short explanation here. This is a top view of the tank, which has just been stirred gently. Then I push out the plug. A classic bathtub vortex forms almost immediately. This vortex gets strong enough that it has a complete air core. You can see all the way to the bottom of the tank and out the hole. Now this might be contrary to your intuition, but a bathtub vortex greatly inhibits the draining of the tank. Let me explain why briefly. It's a total game changer when the center of the outlet hole becomes fully occupied by air. When that happens, water is discharging through an annulus, a ring of water. You can clearly see that the outlet jet has air in its core. So you have a smaller effective outlet area. It's not the full 9mm hole anymore. In addition, you also get greatly increased viscous head losses because of the high rotational fluid velocities near and at the discharge hole. So for a combination of reasons, you get greatly reduced flow for the stirred tank. Using methods that I covered in a previous video, I calculated that the discharge coefficient is 0.92 for the still tank. That means that the average flow rate is 92% of that predicted for purely inviscid flow. So the flow rate for the still tank is reduced by about 8% by viscosity. In contrast, I calculated that the discharge coefficient for the stirred tank is 0.47. Of course, this is an average effective value that combines all the effects that I just discussed. So the flow rate is reduced by about half compared to a simple prediction using Bernoulli's equation. As a final comment, this video illustrates in part why many industrial tanks have vortex breakers installed on the outlet pipe. Vortex breakers reduce air entrainment by preventing a bathtub vortex from reaching all the way to the outlet pipe. You really don't want a lot of air drawn into a pump, for example. They also reduce the viscous head losses at the outlet, so you need less pumping power. And vortex breakers also reduce the risk of cavitation at the tank outlet. As we discussed in a previous video, cavitation can severely damage a pump. These are examples of commercially available anti-vortex fittings from a company called J.D. Skiles out of Kentucky. So that's the practical engineering application. Of course, these fittings add extra minor losses, but nothing like the issues that can arise from an unrestrained vortex at the tank outlet, as we just saw. And that completes this presentation.